Hey folks, this is Mark's Daily Brief. My name is Mark Devine. Welcome back. I hope you're doing well. Picking up on the theme of being sheepdog strong, I would like to talk about winning the 3 fights. I first heard this from my friend Tony Blauer, who's a self-defense instructor, a creator of the SPEAR system, and a great, all-around great guy. And we had this conversation about how you've got to win 3 fights in order to win in totality whenever a crisis comes or you're overcoming a challenge or, of course, in a real altercation. And so I'll use a real altercation to metaphorically speak about winning the 3 fights in any kind of challenge, such as what you might be going through today. So the first fight is the fight in your own mind. And this is the fight over your self-confidence, your self-esteem, and knowing that you will prevail. And I know a lot of people are struggling with that fight alone right now, knowing that they'll prevail. That, they could literally lose the whole thing just by not having the confidence to know that they can figure this out one day at a time and come through the other side, on both feet and also stronger. So this requires that we develop mental courage and mental stamina and mental fortitude and a high self-esteem, right? And a courage wolf attitude. And then the ability to visualize the win. These are all skills that we teach at Unbeatable Mind through our daily practices. But that's only one of the 3 fights. The second fight is the actual confrontation itself. Now, in the first fight in a conflict, like where you're engaging another human being, or like a SEAL team engaging the enemy, that's done in the preparation and the visualization. The second fight is the actual engagement. And the actual engagement requires a ferociousness, an intensity, and an offensive mindset. I'll be talking about offensive mindset a little bit more in the future. And this fight also requires skills and competencies, so you don't enter a fight, hopefully, without some training. I don't recommend everyone go out and get a street fight unless you've been trained. And when you get trained, then you avoid the street fight because you realize how, gnarly they can be. But, insert any type of challenge. If you're going to confront a big challenge, then it's helpful to have training for it. And if your challenge right now is to launch a new career, then quickly get some training. If you have no training, or if you're pivoting your business to do online work, it would be helpful to get some training. And there's tons of really quick courses that you can get trained up. I think my friend Seth Godwin, I actually don't know Seth, but I love calling him my friend. He offers some terrific short, high impact training for professionals as well as recently graduated students to be able to pivot and really stand on your own 2 feet as a adventurous, courageous, and curious entrepreneur, which are the really primary skills that you need in this marketplace. So that's the second fight. You've actually got to have skills. You've got to practice those skills. You've got to develop confidence and competency with those skills, and then you've got to take those skills into the marketplace and activate the OODA loop so you can learn and get feedback and fail, and then pick yourself up and keep going. But you won in the mind first, and so you know that you can get there. You just got to do it through trial and error. That's the second fight. Now the third fight is the fight against the overarching system that you're dealing with. So back to the altercation example. If you won in your mind, great, and you got the skills to dominate, great. And so you won 2 of the fights. And let's say you enter that fight and you lose your situational awareness and you end up winning the fight against the opponent, but you do so in a way that the cops show up and they think that you are the bad guy, or they take both of you in, they roll you up, and you spend a week in jail. Well, that's not winning the third fight. You won 2, but you lost the third, so you still lose, because you could lose, you lose that time, you lose reputation, you might lose a lot of money, you might lose your job as a result of it if you're like in the military. So no bueno, right? You got to win all 3 fights. This is why, like when it comes to the altercation scenario, it's best to avoid the fight, even if you can win in your mind and win against the opponent. It's just not worth it. The third fight, you could always lose that because it's sort of out of your control. So consider, with your current crisis and your current fights, what is out of your control so that you should be avoiding it or taking extra precautions to make sure that you don't get slammed by that third fight, the system. And then consider what fights you should be taking on that you know you can win all three. They're going to move you forward in life. Okay? Hope that's helpful. Make some notes and visualize and pick your battles wisely. Hoo-yah. Make a comment below or on the website and or at youtube.com, and please subscribe and share these videos. Appreciate you. See you next time. Hoo-yah.